There's the most anticipated movies. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 hits theaters tomorrow. Our very own David Plummer got a chance to sit down with the cast of the movie, and he joins us now to tell us all about it. Hey, Davey.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, David.
Hello. Good morning. Hello.
Hey, I'm curious. Do you think Tobey Maguire watches these movies?
Poor Tobey Maguire. So Tobey Maguire obviously was the star of the last Spider-Man franchise.
Right.
Bless you.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm allergic to you, David.
I know. Join the club. Join the club. So yeah, they're rebooting this entire franchise. So basically, in 2002, the Tobey Maguire movie came out. 10 years later, they rebooted the whole thing with a whole new cast: Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, a bunch of great superheroes in this one, and villains in this one as well. As a matter of fact, so I had a chance to sit down with Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield to play Spider-Man and Gwen Stacy in the movie. So take a look.
Nothing is what I thought it was.
This is bigger than you, Peter.
Now, you and Andrew have been through 2 of these movies together as well. So tell me something you've learned from Andrew, from working with Andrew over these last 2 movies.
A lot. His preparation as an actor is, he really is one of the most prepared and truly most talented people I've ever worked with. So I feel like I'm always learning.
And obviously they've upped the ante this time around with the villains. I mean, you got Jamie Foxx, Paul Giamatti, Dane DeHaan. What was it like working with those guys? I mean, does that get you really excited when you hear who was cast in the movie as the villain? I mean, the villains are such a big part of the Spider-Man franchise. So.
Yeah, it's huge. It's I was so excited about all 3 of those guys. Those are 3 actors I love, especially Dane, because I loved Chronicle so much.
I did too.
It's just such a good movie.
Yes.
And so I couldn't wait to meet Dane and to work with him a little bit.
And Jamie, of course, is such a multi-talented guy. I mean,
he can do everything well.
He really can.
Everything.
What was he like on set? Like, what was he like?
He was like that, doing everything well. He's also the biggest cheerleader. He's like he cheers if he thinks the scene was good. He's so supportive, which is probably part of his insane talent, is that he's so supportive of the people around him that it just makes him wonderful to work with.
I had read that you, when you were first thinking of getting into showbiz, you kind of convinced your folks to let you do it by putting together a computer slideshow, essentially a PowerPoint, right? Yeah. So what made you do that? How did that come about, that you decided this is the way I'm going to convince them?
It was the easiest way.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I didn't have the materials to make like a board presentation, so I just did it on my PC.
And they bought it.
They bought it.
That's amazing. So
Suckers.
I should be teaching my daughter to use PowerPoint at this point, because this is what it leads to.
Would you like her to convince you?
that would be great, exactly.
All right, great. Perfect.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Every day, I wake up knowing that the more people I try to save, the more enemies I will make. And it's just a matter of time before I face those with more power than I can overcome.
Easier this time, getting into character and sort of filling out the character of Peter Parker?
You know, I've been wanting to be Spider-Man since I was a kid, so anytime I get an opportunity to play the character is amazing. In the first movie, the character Peter was going through a lot of unsure feelings about who he was, what he was doing, what the spider bite meant. So there was a real adolescent, shaky confusion around the character. Whereas in this one, what's exciting to me is that, you know, he's a bit more comfortable with the gift he's been given, and he's really trying to own it, as we were talking about, just kind of going with the flow of it and allowing it to take him where it wants to go. How
sort of surreal was it coming on set and seeing, you know, Jamie Foxx or Paul Giamatti there playing villains? I mean, what great casting.
Big actors, you're really great actors, you know. It's I get overwhelmed whenever I get to work with great artists and great creative actors, and all of the cast in this, without exception, are that. So, you know, I get very you know, grateful when I get to be able to play with other kids that want to just come and play.
This is your second time also with Emma, you know, in the movie as well. So, what have you learned from her?
oh wow, you just learn so much about what it is to be present, what it is about being in the moment. You know, her background is improvised comedy, improv, so that is all about just being present and letting things go and not overthinking anything, and it's just amazing to be around. It's like you got to keep up with it, and you can't get in your head, otherwise you'll get left in the dust. It's amazing.
And my last question I got to ask, I know everybody asks you about this, but putting on that suit, I know if I were to put on that suit, I would be incredibly self-conscious.
Yeah.
How much time does it take to get used to that?
Yeah, it happens pretty quick, you know. You just have to practice. You just have to practice and be in it out in public and allow people to see, and then you're fine. It's like riding a bike, you know.
I'll remember that the next time I put mine on. Thank you, sir. All right.
Thanks, man.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 opens tomorrow, so tune in to Windy City After Dark at midnight, because David also sat down with the director, Mark Webb. Okay. And then so tomorrow he's going to talk with Electro himself. That's right, Jamie Foxx. Plus, Richard Roper is going to tell us whether we spend or save.
Yes, but Roper is actually coming up in my 2-minute warning. He is hilarious. You got to tune in for that. But next, they help you see Chicago like nobody else, and they're celebrating their 20-year anniversary. I'll tell you about it next.
Thank you.